I should be live, but I'm gonna be on a delay, I think. Even though it says no delay. So GG's YouTube. Alright, I'm gonna have this here. Can I get a stream chat out somewhere? Or I can just, pop it on an iPad and see how it goes. Apologies, this is a bit last minute, but let's see how this goes. Or I can just, Okay, so I should be able to follow live chat as best as I can anyway. I've got it on the side. So yeah, I can close this. I've got one screen monitoring the stream. All right. So that, if to anyone watching, welcome. Sorry, it took a couple of minutes to get everything sorted. It's still fairly new to the live streaming thing. So yeah, I'm Nitin. I've been working on this. I've been doing 3D printing for a while now, since 2018ish. And I started this page a while back mainly to upload projects, but it's kind of fallen off recently. And there's some reasons for that, mostly just life getting in the way. But yeah, the main reason I started this channel was for this project, that F1 2022 cars coming out. I thought one weekend in 2020, I was bored and I thought I'd just start this and see how it goes. And that kind of got out of hand really quickly. And it became this, it's now been 4.5 years later. And I think I've gotten to a point where I'm like almost ready for releasing it. It's not perfect. There's still a lot of things I would have liked to do, but again, my life changed quite a lot since I started this. It's been about, back then I was sort of like I was kind of just, looking around, seeing what I could do. And now I've got a pretty serious commitments. Yeah. But anyway, so let me just go over sort of what the design processes look like. If you watched the videos by any chance, I mean, there wasn't a lot there. It was just going through the front wing and wheel design, and you'll notice that the front wing is completely different on this car. So yeah, basically every part of this I've had to like sit down and rework, and you'll see. And what I thought was my original concept for this was just, keep the core of the car, keep the printed body. It looks good enough, and sort of this motor cover as well, and just print some new aerodynamic parts, new front wing, rear wing, and floor, and new tires. And that was supposed to be it. But the more I sort of got into it, the more my sort of obsession for everything being right took over. Yeah, and this turned into basically recreating the floor fences. I thought this could be a separate printed part, but unfortunately, that didn't really work out. I found it was easier to just, remodel the front. And the front wing, what I started out with turned out to be pretty inaccurate when the actual 2022 cars came out. And I've been watching the cars evolve over the last couple of years. So this is one wing, I think. And yeah, there was another mistake in this design. Was I picked the 2016 version of the OpenRC one, not the 2017 one, which the current cars are based on, dimensions wise. So the front wing looks a little bit too big, but that's because I picked the wrong sort of chassis. If you print the 2017 one, this wing works out just fine. Here's the other wing. Here's the wing I designed for this sort of dimension with this CAD model in mind. This is also a full redesign of the front wing, basically from completely new elements. Made it much more simple, much more accurate to the real thing, where the sort of wing starts from the root, goes up, and then sort of merges with the tip, with the end plates. Yeah, the bottom part's also a little curved, so I wanted to get some amount of the aerodynamics right. Yeah, so that was the original concept, and then I thought, if I had to make a wider wing anyway, so I made something that was based on the RB19 with more realistic elements. I'm not doing the end plates to lack a bit of detail, but that's mostly just for printability. You'll also notice that they look kind of thick in the design, but in reality they're really, really thin. It's actually, even now, it's, I think, just barely doable. I might even thicken those up a bit more before release. My traditional method of strengthening prints like this is to have fillets, but this design has gotten so complicated that it's impossible to fillet these without some error popping up. So yeah, no, just Autodesk Fusion doing Autodesk Fusion things, but also kind of my bad for going too aggressively with the design. There was a couple of mistakes. That's another thing. So you'll notice that this is an assembly. Basically, the idea was modify the open source OpenRC F1 assembly that Daniel Leray had uploaded on his website. I thought that would be an easier method of sort of getting all the dimensions right and not having to worry about like designing parts separately and then having to struggle with the dimensions being right. But in hindsight, I would not do this. I would actually just build up separate parts and put them together in an assembly and sort of fix the dimensions in the separate parts, because it avoids a lot of complexity with everything being in one file. Just sort of breaks Fusion a bit. And you'll notice also that the front is all a mesh. So because it's called these triangles, so I had to basically convert it to a mesh because when I was working on it, I just could not get it to I had to split it up to work on it. And that's something I'll come to. But basically, I couldn't put it back together. The combine just refused to work. So in the end, I just turned it into a mesh and then combined it, and it somehow worked. It prints fine. You'll notice that there's a lot of like little jagged details. Those don't really show up in the prints, as far as I can tell. Yeah, and yeah, so front wing full redesign. The tires also got a bit of a redesign. It's mostly cosmetic, but also the covered wheels, I made them solid because it seemed like a lighter design than actually printing spokes. The spokes are stronger, but they're much heavier, and I don't think it's really necessary. Although I haven't really tested any of this. That's another thing that I wanted to do. Get actual electronics and build up a working car and test it. But my experience with lipo batteries has scared the shit out of me, to put it mildly. So yeah, I won't be doing that again in a hurry. So yeah, you'll notice these wheel covers. I did design these and I thought they were pretty good, but on comparison, they're not that great. They're a very poor replica. So I'm thinking of just redesigning these whenever I get some time. Actually, I was planning to do it now, but I'm not so sure anymore. Yeah, just getting the live stream up was kind of took me a bit of time, and yeah. Also, yeah, the front was redesigned. The floor is fully redesigned. The front tray fits in a somewhat different way to the original, and yeah, you can see like I've tried to replicate the aerodynamics as close as I can while keeping the original sort of these M3 bolts in the same spots, or as close as possible to the same spots. The suspension and chassis suspension is more or less the same. The chassis, same drivetrain. The idea was to keep the electronics the same. So if anyone's got the existing one, they can just switch over without having to buy any expensive new ESCs or motors or whatever. And I've kept the side pods the same. This is not for lack of effort. I tried very hard to create like a more representative side pod for 2025, but for the new regulations 2022, back when I started, you can tell that failed dismally. I really wanted to do like a Ferrari style side pod from the 2022 car. This is real with the bathtub style things, but that didn't really pan out. So yeah, so I'll probably release it with these, but I have been working on like an alternate concept with more of an undercut after seeing the 2024 cars. So this is undercut, a small amount of downwash. So the hope was, you'd combine the two air flows and push them in. But really with like all the spinning gears and all that, the rear corner is pretty fucked no matter what you do aerodynamically at the front. This is more of a cosmetic job. It does function. The aerodynamics are functional, but at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter too much, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so for the new ones, I also have to redesign the front. I haven't really thought of tackling that yet. That's if I have time. I have the enthusiasm, but I do not have any energy left for this by the time I'm done with work and sort of my other stuff, life stuff. And yeah, floor, I think I went over it. Diffuser, everything is kind of built. The rear wing, this is also kind of a bit of a project, really. So I went through a couple of iterations. This is, I think, the fourth iteration of the rear wing as a base concept. So it's getting it to like sort of fit correctly. I had made a mistake where it was actually behind the diffuser at one point, and then I looked the cars a little closer and realized they should actually be ahead. So yeah, did that. You got that working, and yeah, so this is based on like a wing that Mercedes had brought to Monza in 2022, I believe. So it's a low drag one. The concept is that the thinking was that you want this car at the speed at which it's going to be running at, drag is going to be much more of a problem than downforce. So I can trade off some downforce and if it reduces drag. And I also tried including like the split end plates from 2024, most 2024 cars. So yeah, I've been trying to implement things as I see them in F1, but yeah, it's just very limited by time. Yeah, that's sort of I think that's pretty much whatever I've done. So yeah, anyway, yeah, but I want to try and wrap this up soon. It's been sitting on my mind for a long time. Oh, also, new mirrors. So one of the problems I faced with the new floor was that the way the sidepod lid the lid of the car attaches to the floor is gone. Basically, that used to be like a barge board type of thing, and now that barge board is replaced. So instead, I figured a cheap and easy way to get around that is to just make the mirrors. And the original ones had sort of the mirrors here and then the sort of attachment points here, but instead I just combined the two. It's a nice idea on paper, but I think in reality it's a bit more complicated. Just getting these parts to print is a bit tricky. Yeah, I mean, this project really isn't perfect, but I just want to get this done with, to be honest, at this point. I figured that at least releasing something is better than nothing. And yeah, I'll see how much time I have left for refinement. Anyway, someone liked. Thank you. And yeah, so that's basically it. The motor cover is also like subtly different. I'll see, you can see it with the diffuser. The diffuser kick kind of comes up right behind the motor, so unfortunately the motor cover needs a cutout. That's something I'm thinking of maybe redesigning, but at this point, I don't know. It's probably just enough. So that's sort of the thought process that kicked off the design of the new sideboards. Was sort of the motor cover is going to be replaced anyway, so why not just go for all in and redesign it fully to better match the regulations. But again, time's a real constraint. Yeah. Other than that, it's fine. I've printed it. I've done some test fits. Of course, I haven't done any running tests because I don't want to fuck around with LiPo batteries. But I don't know if I'm allowed to swear that much on stream, but whatever. Yeah. Everything fits. So let's see. I'm gonna try and work out. How do I build it this? So really the last part left, I guess, is the wheelbrows. So let's do that. Right, left. I had started work on it somewhere. I need to just find it. Oh yeah. 7 to 8. Yeah. So I started work on sort of a more full wheel brow, and deflecting it off to the side like the actual car. The idea here is to sort of split it into two parts and have this screw sort of be the common mounting point for both. Yeah. So if I remove wheelbrows and look at this part in isolation, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try and figure out how to do this design within like the next. But I'm probably gonna be live for like until 12 p.m. So about 40 minutes or so. So I'm gonna try and do this. All right. So first things first, let's construct this bit, the part that's supposed to go over the wheel. Let me look at some reference images. Okay, so this is the standard part, so it should be fairly easy to replicate. Let's see. I'm gonna give it about let's see, how about 1 centimeter? I think that's gonna be way too much, but front. Yeah, that's way too much. 2 millimeters. It's cutting it close. Any sort of movement might scrape against it. 3 millimeters seems about right. Oh, hold on. Gonna just done. Okay, I need to blank this here. 73. I can go off. So create a sketch over here. So let's create a line, construct this line. So I want to look at the midpoint. Yeah, this should be around where the wheel's axis is. And this is about as much as I want to cover. So let's do, right, hold on. Inspect this, 5.6 centimeters. Okay, 2.6 now, 2.63. So yeah, that's not the, is that really the midpoint? Doesn't look like it. Oh well, gonna do about 1 centimeter seems about right. So what I'm gonna do is do 6, so about a 20-degree sweep, and then mirror this. All right, create a mirror line. So mirror that. There we go. Line that. Okay, so that's all mirrored. Then we combine this, and bada bing, bada boom. Should have something. So okay, finish sketch. I kind of see the sketch. I have it line. I don't know why. Anyway, this looks okay. Let's try extruding and see how it looks. 2 millimeters. It's a bit high. I mean, if I were to do this realistically, oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, I think Fusion's just trying to compute whether it's colliding or not. It's slowing down a bit. And yeah, realistically, if I were to do this, this is I think too close, because any bumps will like cause the wheel to scrape against it. That's not ideal. So instead, let me start as an offset. Minus, not where it's supposed to go, so minus point. I can't really see the extrude windows, I think. Yeah, you can't see it on the stream. That's unfortunate, because I liked it to be there. So 0.1, distance of 0.2. So that should be okay. Yeah, that kind of looks fine. Now, split body. Actually, hold on. I don't need to split the body. I just need to split this face. So I want to create a connection between that part and the circular part below. So hide this wheel. Yeah. So now this is the splitting tool. Extend it. All right. And now, actually, hold on. Extrude this. And with a taper angle, let's say 5 degrees. Tapers in 3 dimensions, though that's not ideal. That's okay, I can just cut it anyway. Let's try 10. What looks about? I want to basically get to a point where it looks about right. 15. So it should basically be tangent to this circle, as far as I can tell from the images I'm looking at. I'm sorry I can't show that on stream, but yeah, my stream's locked onto Fusion. So let's see, 20, 25. Lock the view to the right so that I don't get parallax. Okay, so join these two. Actually, no, I don't want to join it. My Fusion minimized again. GG's. Right. So this part, I think. What if I just delete this face? Just deletes the whole thing. Okay, cool. Thank you, Fusion. Very cool. So let's do another split face. Split this face. This, extend it. Okay, that should split the face. Extrude this all the way back. Yeah, so that's a decent cut. Yeah. By the way, if this looks chunky, I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna do fillets and stuff, so don't worry about it too much. So extrude all the way up here. Yeah, so that should be clean, one clean surface, hopefully. Of course, it's two because Fusion. Anyway, that leaves us with this, so we can extrude this down. So, odd. There's a 25-degree diagram. 25 might be too much. Oh, that's weird. Well, it does seem to match. What happens if I make it 0 again? So yeah, it goes straight down. Okay, so interesting. So I need to give it the same taper as the original extrusion, but okay, whatever. So this should be a bit easier. All I have to do is hit delete. Yeah, there it goes. Hit delete. There that goes. Yeah, it's a cleaner. join. It's not perfect. I don't like it. Oh well, we move. So let's fillet both of these. I think that looks good. Let's get the slick and see how it looks. Ooh, that's very chunky. And so hold on. So let's fillet this first. It's on fire. So this shouldn't need nearly as much of a fillet. Hi, get in here. All right. Okay, so this can do with the small end. Okay, so then Control C, Control C. So the first thing is fillet this to 0.4. Should be good. Then we fillet this. Filet mignon. Right. Awesome. So that should be good. Then we can fillet these edges as well. Actually, I can just fillet this whole rectangle, I think. Nah, that's not gonna work. So let's do this instead. Okay, that looks decent. Alright. Comparing that to the original, yeah, it's already looking a lot better. Okay, so now I need, oh, actually, before I do any of the filler, I should probably Control C these fillets. I just realized that the clearance between this face and the wheel is a bit too small. So that might be what's causing the issues, come to think of it. Oh, I had extrude instead of fillet. Fillet instead of extrude, my mistake. 1mm objects to cut is just not 7 to 7. I want 7 to 7 centimeters. Rest of this is really fine. Oh, I should need that cut out, but I'll do that later. How much? I think how was a 2mm clearance look? Yeah, it looks fine. Okay. That might explain why it was acting weird. Oop. Okay, my fusion just all tapped out for some reason. It's been doing that a bit. Okay, let's delete that. And of course it causes an error. How about this? So yeah, that's another thing with this project. It's a bit of roulette. You don't really know which faces will get deleted and which won't. But face deletion is the cleanest way of like getting rid of these weird artifacts. Yeah. And okay, so now let's try filleting this. How close can we go? I still want to do 0.4. I think this is the tire is filleted to 0.3, so let's keep it at 0.3. Fillet this. 0.7. Oh, another thing to remember, this is more of a self note, is that even though it looks thick in the design, the actual printed part is going to be super, super thin because we're zooming in that much. So I'm gonna keep that because otherwise it's gonna be flimsy as hell when I print it. And that might be too much. That seems about right. So yeah, that seems okay. Let me just check once with the reference images. This may be a touch too big. No, it should be fine. Okay, let's now I need to fix these edges. They're a bit too sharp. So that's the best way I can think of is filleting them out. So yeah, that should fix some of the smoothness issues. Bingo. Now, these edges. Yeah, that seems about right. Bingo, bango, bongo. Let's go. Yeah. Perfect. So now we've got a decent top face. It's time to work on the bottom. What does that look like on the actual cars? So for the most part, this killer. Okay, maybe Wheelbrows doesn't go 2024. Or there's no good shot of just the Wheelbrows on Google, unfortunately. They're called wheel arches. I see spray cars. I don't see that. Oh, okay, that's a good one. But it only shows the top half. 22. Let's go back a bit. Maybe it'll actually show the regulation ones. Oh, there's a Ferrari with like prototype style wheel arches. That looks so wrong and simultaneously so right. I'm starting to like prototype race cars more and more, I guess. There's no good photo of just the wheel arch, which is kind of frustrating. I'd have really liked it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's mostly circular, but at the bottom, it's got this sort of vein. Can I model that? I think I can model that. The question is, does the fairing continue? I don't think the fairing continues past that though. So let's actually hold on. I need to block out most of the body. So let's get the front new, front wing, and the chassis assembly out of the way. Let's create a sketch. So anything else on the way? Oh yeah, the front. It's like front trim covered and the front tray. This out. Create a fit point spline. Finish that. Offset this -0.2. -0.2. There we go. So that should give you like a nice isolated area. All right. So now extrude this. Does that look about right? Okay, I think we're gonna need another sketch in a perpendicular plane. So let's get a You won. Sorry, cat got in the way. What? Okay, I'm gonna take a minute. Bye. Be right back. I don't think you can hear this on the stream, but yeah, Cat's just popped in. He wants this. He wants scratches. So one hand's a little occupied at the moment. So I can't do a plane at angle. Tangent. I can't do tangent. Wait. Man, Fusion is weird sometimes. It just my CPU fan just spooled up like crazy for no reason. Plane tangent to face at point. Okay. At this point. Okay. That's perfect. So now let's create the second dimension. Ooh. Now from here. What? I'm giving you scratches, dude. I'm sacrificing a hand on the stream for this. Why are you giving me looks? Okay. So that should be good. Let's copy and make this a bit nicer. Sketch. And now let's create a sweep. Point being select the spot. Ooh, what the hell? that causes some interesting errors. Body, how about join? Why do you intersect itself? How about there we go. Something what's up with that. So yeah, that's decent. I think. Okay. Now, got that. I can delete this. I think. Yeah. Look at that. Unfortunately, it's in 2 dimensions. Yeah, there's no like one spot I can print. I have to put this together. Okay. As a compromise, I can probably just cut this at the bottom and make the bottom one part and the top, the rest of it, the top. Okay, let's do that actually. Split this. The splitting tool is going to be 1. So for now I'm gonna split both. I'm gonna figure out how exactly I'm gonna do this in a bit. But yeah. Let's see. Something seems off here. Let's try a press pull. Can I pull this face forward? That. What if I let's do automatic. So okay. That looks a damn bit better. So let's compare that to the old wheelbrow. That's a massive improvement. Yep. Oh, I think something is up with the rotation. Okay, dude, chill. So that might be a problem. It's kind of cutting through. Yeah. I should probably, actually, yeah, let's do that. Tool body is this. Let's keep the tool. Cut it. That should result in a new body popping up here sometime soon. Actually, maybe even a couple of new bodies popping up. And oh yeah, fusion, of course, minimizes on me. GG's. So 7 to 8 is linked. So this goes into the junk folder. It's 147 bodies. Sheesh. So yeah. 51306 and 3. Combine 3, 5, and 6. Yeah, 4, 5, and 6, and 4. So that should be pretty easy. Print the. I don't like making it a 2-part, but what the hell? It's a pretty complex bit of part anyway. What else was I thinking? So will this fit? Good question. Let's move 7 to 7. See how this works. Yeah, so this will sort of slot in. When I print this, I'm thinking, how will this sit on the actual suspension part? There's actually like it's a bit of a press fit. That's not going to be ideal. So let's press pull these back a bit. Huh. Yeah, so give it a little, that's half a millimeter. Let's get 0.025. Not too much, but just enough so that it, printer clear, accounting for printer clearances and all that. Anyway, oh god, the rotation on this kills me every time. Actually, I need to do that. Let's get 7 to 7 back in. This got keep, okay. Bingo, bingo. Let's remove 7 to 7. Did that affect it in any way? I don't think it did. Yeah, most of the attachment is going to be to the upper brow. So the lower brow has like 1 point of attachment. That's suboptimal. Can I do a dovetail and just, slot these two together? Would that work? So the primary axis is going to be vertical. So I can just, yeah, I can probably do a dovetail joint. To 120. Based on absolutely nothing at all. 0.6 seems okay. So this should be 60 then. Yeah, so inspect 1. Yeah, they're exactly the same length. And let's create a mirror line. So this is the midpoint. Hold on. That shouldn't be the mirror line. The mirror line should be, no. And line, because it's for the whole wheelbrow. I think that's the correct mirror. I sure hope it is. Anyway, yeah, that should be good. We have 2 dovetail joints. So basically, when gravity pulls it down, sort of the dovetail joint resists the whole thing. Control and click with one hand is an interesting experience. Shoot, and back here, so create a new body, and you'll see why in a moment. Now combine 1, 2, and 3, and then combine 1, 2, and 3, and join them. Don't keep the tools. Perfect. So that should be 1 point of attachment. If that doesn't work, sorry. So if that doesn't work, I'm gonna add a additional screw slot at the bottom, just so this sits in perfectly. Actually, I might do it anyway, because fuck it, why not? It's good to have a little bit of redundancy, I think. And the original design does, on that note. Yeah, the original design does require it, because, so combine this with this, cut, keep tools, done. Combine this. This doesn't really intersect with the lower wishbone, so it should be fine. Okay. So now when we hide the chassis assembly and look at this in isolation, can delete this, can delete this. Hope that doesn't break anything. Like Curl Space Program has a Kraken, and Space Engineers has Clang. I think Fusion 360 should have a similar god of physics that you pray to every time you delete a face. Like, praise the gods. Make sure this fucking works. Okay, so there's a freaking plane getting in the way. Hold on. Why is it automatic? Why is the offset suddenly set to 0.5? What the shit is this? Interesting. What the fuck? Genuinely, this is completely bugged out now. Okay, let's try deleting these faces. Maybe that's what's causing the issue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Huh? It's still giving the same thing. All right. So 0.025 is sort of the consensus, right? 0.475. Let's keep it consistent. Okay. So now when I get the chassis assembly in, it should be a smaller more. No, it's actually worse. Hold on. How did the assembly fit earlier? Like, just supposed to make a cut. And it really hasn't. Only just fitting now. Okay, maybe I do need to like account for that a little more. What? What? Okay. Let's do this again. I think. Yeah, hold on. I think I need to take another little break for a minute. This guy's acting weird. All right. Where was I? Click, click, click. Suppress pull. Okay, 0.525. Okay, so 0.45. Let's try this and bring back the chassis assembly. That's really confusing. Just cut, right? I see what the problem might be. Okay, let's see, bring that back. So the tool bodies, also select this. Now let's see what happens when I hide the chassis assembly. Yeah. There's also like a slight clearance between these, so that might. I sure hope this doesn't break anything. So yeah, delete that, that, and that. This is junk. Just toss it in the junk drawer and delete those faces. And let's try and press bullet one more time. Now it stays. Bring back the chassis. Okay. I think that means that it's deleting stuff. Okay, let's do this another way. So, huh? No, it's fine. It doesn't really change. I checked the camera angle for that reason. Okay. Not entirely sure what's going on here. Set this. Whoa. Oh. Oh, hey, on the bright side, we managed to get a screw hole in. RIP aerodynamics, though. Yeah. Okay, let's do that for this part now. Now, let's try and remember the precise order in which I did the deletions. So, yeah. Let's get rid of the chassis assembly. Delete 1. Delete 2. Okay, suboptimal. Yeah, that works. Put this in the junk drawer. Yeah, I need to go to planes until we hide that. It's really getting in the way now. What the? Didn't I? Okay. Delete that. Can't delete that. Delete that. That works. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What do you mean I can't delete that? Yeah, this is basically a summary of how this project has felt. Split that using these two faces. Oh yeah, it's do not intersect, of course. So let's go for some big brain tactics now. All the way there, and also include that little bit in the center. So let's make this fully fucked. Yep. Bird. So we bring the rest of the body back. Yeah, that's definitely a design, one of the designs of all time. And now, so what I'm going to do here is basically shell this. I don't think shell is the right command. Hold on. So basically, I want to create an attachment point. So recess this part a little bit, and so that this gets us this can attach mechanically and make it completely secured. Because right now it's not really attached to it at all. It's more of a press fit, and that's not optimal. And okay, let's create a rectangle. I want to say that I don't really care about perfect symmetry, but I keep getting proven wrong. And okay, 0.5, 0.75, angle of 0.2. So 15 by 4 millimeters whenever Fusion decides to respond. Point 0.4 by 1.5 centimeters. 0.8. That should be about right. So finish sketch. So we don't really need the chassis assembly for this part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should have trimmed, but I really don't have the time. Minus point. So about 2 millimeters should be good enough. And it's not cut. New body. Let's combine 1, 2, cut, keep tools. Combine 1, 2, combine, join, and don't keep tools. Oh, it didn't join. The hell? This usually works. Okay, let's go back to the sketch and make a little modification. And yeah, this time I'm actually going to trim stuff. Oh, oops, trimmed the wrong thing. Texture got fucked up. Hold on. Get rid of that. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. This still isn't come. Oh. What? Get the chassis assembly back again. Okay, that makes no sense. It's not. Might have been the ow. Press pull. Okay. Be right back. Alright. Split body. Get 7 to 7 out of the way so I can use these. Get these tools. Okay. Split them. Join it. So that should work. I should also probably extend these. So split body. Use this. This goes into junk. Okay, I need to make a circular cutout to make sure. Wait, I clicked construction by mistake. Hold on, sketches. Where's the latest one? 263. Sheesh. Anyway. Chassis assembly out. Make that visible. That'll be a nice start. And diameter is 0.3. So when you bring back the chassis, yeah. So the idea being, body, okay, and combine this with this, use it as a cutting tool. Okay, combine. Okay, so that way, got rid of the sketch, so I can go back here. Height tensor 4. The chassis assembly. Yeah, so this is going to be screwing into the slot right here. So yeah, and ideally like the chassis, the stop suspension arm would just lock both of these in place. So yeah, I think that's more or less it. Now all I've got to do is mirror this whole design. And convert it. Yeah. Okay, 1009 is junk, so I can remove that. 003 and 004. Let's add a little chamfer so that this isn't as chunky. 0.175. What's that? Thickness. 0.15. Yeah. That's a good enough approximation, I think. So when this prints, it's going to print like this. It's going to be like this little curve. All right. Now let's bring back the OG mirror plane. Set. Just So just looking through the planes right now, it might be a little hard to see. I do apologize. I didn't realize that Fusion literally doesn't show the sort of fire, the thing on the object menu. Yeah, so mirror this. That looks good enough. I have to verify this because this design is actually asymmetrical. So yeah, okay. So drop this there. On second thought, I'm not so comfortable with this being so that close. So all I have to do, but the nice thing is all I have to do is alter this a bit. Although what the downstream effects will have, I'm not so sure about. Let's give it some time to compute. How does it look from the front view? Better. Still a little. I don't think I'm 100% comfortable with this yet. Because the problem is that in the real world, any sort of flex of this tire is going to cause this to contact the ground. And that's a lot of unnecessary friction. So let's go back here. Oh no, wait. Wrong sketch. And so where's the actual sketch I'm looking for? Yeah, there it is. So modifying the geometry a little bit. Yeah, I think that's okay. Still a little iffy about it. It's definitely better than before. So yeah, but I'm really lacking the sort of flow that we have here. Oh. So go back to before the mirror step and clean up the rear corner a bit. This thing is, let's fillet this out. Fillet 1 should clear up that gap there. Fillet 2 should smoothen out this gap in this dimension. Actually creates half decent. It's not really outwashing, it's more isolating. Yeah, oh well. Cancel that. So what works here better here, a fillet or a chamfer? I feel like chamfer is the way to go because there's a hard transition here. These are two separate parts. And then I can fillet this to make it look a little smoother. It also avoids any sharp edges. That is a sharp edge though. What if I just leave it alone? I mean, it's a tiny feature. I think I'm fine. Oh, right, of course. This has to be adjusted somewhat. So this is the second generation. Now we have the third generation wheelbrows. The right bottom, brow, left top. No wait, got the sides wrong. God damn it. Top one. all these to wheelbrow 3 now. Now need to mirror 7 to 7 as well. Yeah, so that makes sense. So yeah, so just being one part, it's 3. Not ideal. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. It's not perfect, but it looks a whole lot better than the second generation wheelbrow. And yeah, so wheelbrow through 3. So the original wheelbrows, I think, worked with. Okay. So if you look at wheelbrow 2, this is what it was. This is wheelbrow 3. A lot more elegantly designed. But again, yeah, the penalty is that you have to print 3 different parts instead of just one. That's just an annoyance. These parts are not on the same plane unless you're like something like a resin or a FDM or a fuse sintering printer, SLA printer. If you're using FDM, you're kind of shit out of luck. Unless your supports are, yeah, FDM even with soluble supports might work. So on that note, let's create a. So let's duplicate this group. So Control C V. Can I do that? Yeah, awesome. Fusion's being weird. Hold on, let me save this before it dies. Wheelbrows. So version 121. Underscore fused. So wheelbrow 3 fused. I think you can combine left top, left bottom, and this. Left, and then these 3 are combined into one. So yeah, these are the fused wheelbrows for if you want to do with supports or on SLA or resin. No, SLS or resin, whatever. Something that can support these sorts of wacky ass geometries. I think this will work. Let's clear up some of the. So for these, there are some clearances that I put in. Let's get rid of those. So for this, let's get wheels out the way. Yeah. Huh? There we go. Just trying to figure out the right order of faces. Yep. So, what's this? Oh. Okay. Let's go. Delete, and freeze. Yeah, the fused one. This one's okay. No, the other one. Delete that. So another inconsistency. Delete that, and bingo. Delete that. Delete that. There we go. So yeah, these are the fused wheelbrows. They're gonna be a lot harder to fabricate though. Okay. Yeah. So these are fused. If you want to do them with like supportless, this is the way. You print this with this face, this with this face, and then you print this with this face. So you get, you don't have, the pro is you don't have to use support. The con is that you have to print 3 parts and then assemble them to get the wheelbrow, which sucks. I'm sorry. This is the best I could think of. If you can afford it, you can do supported printing of the fused ones. Pick your poison, really. It's a pretty complex part to print. There's another, I'm aware that there's another design, by the way. That's kind of what inspired me to start redoing this design, because I noticed that there was a big discrepancy. And in that, I tried printing that out. And it's a fully fused design. It doesn't split it into parts. The problem is that this attachment point is quite weak for what it's supposed to do, and that is hold the entire structural load. The way it prints is kind of awkward, so it really weakens it. That's the reason why I decided to do a split design as well. That's the other disadvantage of doing some supported prints. Just the orientation matters for each part when you 3D print with FDM. So it's the sucky part. But oh well. Bring back chassis. Does it align? I believe it does. As a front axle assembly. So I can hide the the front wheel. The front wheel assembly. I really want to hide one thing. I've already hidden the front wheel hub. Nice. So front wheel assembly. Yeah, I've hidden the wheel hubs. So yeah. So this is what it would look like fully assembled. Yeah, it should work. So yeah, bringing back the front wheels. All right. That is wheelbrow design done, I'll say. I'm going to do a print test and confirm that these work. If there's any changes, I'll make them to improve printability, but I don't think there should be much. Anything fundamental, it's just going to be like minor cosmetic details, I think, if any. Yeah, with that, I shall close the stream. If that prints, I think that's basically the whole thing complete. I'll see if I can print it, get a prototype. If I get a prototype that rolls on its own, I'd consider that completion. And I don't know if anyone's watching this and wants to test it out, print it out and sort of test it with electronics and check if it runs correctly. You're more than welcome to. I'll I don't know, leave a comment or something, and I'll try to upload this to Printables Thingiverse as soon as possible. I don't know. I might have. Yeah, I have a My Manufacturer thing as well. Kind of forgot about that. Yeah, I'll try to get this uploaded whenever I'm done fully printing and making sure everything prints fine without much issue, and note on any bugs that occur. With that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you